Nepal, a land that rises to touch the sky, where every breath carries the shape of a prayer. Here, 8 of the world's 10 highest peaks rise like ancient gods guarding the sky. Today's journey will take you to Nepal, a kingdom of towering mountains, ancient temples, and legends that still live among the clouds. Welcome to Impossible Nepal, where reality fades away and the impossible comes alive in the most breathtaking ways. Mustang, also known as the Kingdom of Lo, was once an ancient Himalayan kingdom in northern Nepal, close to Tibet. For centuries, it maintained its own culture and local rule, even after being integrated into Nepal in the 18th century. In 2008, when Nepal ended its monarchy, Mustang officially lost its royal status. Because it was isolated deep in the Himalayas and closed to foreigners until 1992, its old Tibetan traditions remain almost untouched. The land is dry and harsh, lying in the rain shadow of the Annapurna Range, with very few trees and strong winds. The ground glows in shades of grey, yellow, red and brown. A high-altitude desert landscape over 3,000 meters above sea level. Among its steep cliffs lie deep valleys and mysterious cliffside caves carved thousands of years ago, where archaeologists have found ancient mummies and Buddhist relics. Mount Everest, also called Sagarmatha in Nepal and Komalangma in Tibet, is the highest mountain on Earth at 8,148 meters above sea level. Each year, it keeps rising by about 4 millimeters because the tectonic plates keep pushing upward. At that height, the air is so thin that only about 33% of the normal oxygen remains, making every breath heavy and difficult. Above 6,000 meters, no plants or insects can survive, only ice, rock, and strong winds, making the place look like another planet. Gravity at the top is about 0.3% weaker, so people become slightly lighter even if they can't feel it. In such thin air, the human voice turns hoarse and broken. Sound travels weakly, and people often use hand signals to communicate. Tengboche Monastery sits at about 12,687 feet above sea level, surrounded by the Great Himalayas. It is the largest Buddhist monastery in the Khumbu region and the spiritual heart of the Sherpa people. The monastery was built in 1916 by Lama Gulu entirely by hand, without machines, on a cold and windy mountainside. Over the last century, it has been destroyed twice. First by an earthquake in 1934, and later by a massive fire in 1989. Each time, the Sherpa people rebuilt it completely with their own hands, restoring every detail of the old structure. Inside, monks continue to chant prayers in freezing air below -15 degrees Celsius, where their breath turns to mist, and prayer beads freeze in their hands. From afar, the monastery glows with red and white roofs against the grey snow of the Himalayas, creating a view both harsh and sacred. Tilicho Lake is a glacial lake sitting about 4,919 meters above sea level in the Annapurna region of Nepal. It was once considered the highest lake in the country before newer discoveries were made nearby. The conditions here are so harsh that almost no aquatic life can survive in its freezing water. The low temperature, thin air, and icy surroundings make it feel like a place beyond the limit of life. In the year 2000, a team of Russian divers made a scuba dive here, one of the highest altitude dives ever recorded. Strangely, the lake has no clear outlet. Its water seems trapped inside a ring of massive snow peaks. On clear days, the calm surface acts like a mirror, reflecting the entire snow-covered mountain range, creating a view so unreal that it feels like an impossible wonder on Earth. Phoksundo Lake is a high-altitude alpine lake hidden in the remote Dolpha region of Nepal, inside Phoksundo National Park. Sitting more than 3,600 meters above sea level, it stays cold and dry all year round and is classified as an oligotrophic lake, meaning the water is crystal clear, low in nutrients, and almost free of algae or plankton. Because of that, the surface shines in bright turquoise and emerald tones, standing out against the grey and silver mountains around it. From above, the lake has a strange Y shape, with 3 arms of water spreading out in different directions as if carved naturally into the Himalayas. Geologists believe it was created by a massive landslide some 30,000 to 40,000 years ago that blocked a river and formed a natural dam. The trapped water slowly filled the valley, creating what is now Phoksundo Lake. With a measured depth of about 145 meters, it is considered one of the deepest lakes in Nepal, a place where nature still feels untouched and perfectly preserved. Manang is a high mountain village in Nepal, sitting more than 3,500 meters above sea level among the mighty Himalayas. Unlike most parts of Nepal, it gets almost no rain all year because the Annapurna Range blocks all the monsoon clouds, leaving it dry and barren. The air is so thin that water boils at only about 86 degrees Celsius, making even simple cooking, like boiling an egg, take twice as long. Yet people here still grow barley and potatoes on their terrace fields, using meltwater from nearby glaciers. Because of the extreme cold and dry air, animal remains sometimes do not decay, but dry out naturally, a rare phenomenon in nature. On the famous Annapurna Circuit trekking route, Manang serves as a vital stop for trekkers to rest and adapt to the altitude before crossing the Thorongla Pass over 5,400 meters high. Langtang Valley lies in central northern Nepal, within Bagmati Province and Rasua District, about a day's journey from Kathmandu. It was once one of Nepal's three most famous trekking routes, after Everest and Annapurna. Before being devastated by the 2015 earthquake, thousands of visitors came here every year. The earthquake flattened Langtang village and triggered massive landslides that reshaped the entire valley. After the disaster, the International Astronomical Union named a crater on Mars Langtang to honor this place. Langtang is part of Nepal's first Himalayan National Park, established in 1976, with altitudes ranging from about 1,000 to over 7,200 meters. This huge difference in elevation creates 14 vegetation zones and 18 distinct ecosystems. The Yala Glacier here, one of the most studied in the Himalayas, has lost about 66% of its surface since 1974 and may disappear entirely if global warming continues. Swayambhunath is an ancient religious complex located on a hilltop in the western part of Kathmandu Valley, Nepal. The name Swayambhu in Sanskrit means self-created, coming from a legend that this hill was once a vast lake, and from its center, a lotus flower emerged, giving birth to the sacred site. At its heart stands a large white, dome-shaped stupa, topped with a square structure bearing the Buddha's eyes facing 4 directions, symbolizing awareness and wisdom. Above the eyes lies the third eye, a mark of enlightenment. Pilgrims walk clockwise around the stupa, spinning prayer wheels and offering prayers. The site is also famous for the monkeys living freely on the hill, considered sacred by locals. At sunset, they leap across the roofs and railings, filling the temple with movement and sound. The architecture rises in layers, from the white dome to the square base, then 13 golden tiers representing the 13 steps toward enlightenment, ending with a shining golden spire above Kathmandu's sky. Boudhanath Stupa stands in the northeast of Kathmandu Valley, Nepal, and is one of the largest spherical stupas in the world. The structure rises about 118 feet high, with a dome nearly 100 feet wide, built entirely from bricks, clay, and lime. The inner mass is estimated to weigh over 6,000 tons, making it extremely stable even without any steel reinforcement. Built in the 5th century, the stupa survived the 2015 earthquake with most of its dome still intact. Above the dome are umbrella-shaped tiers that represent the stages of enlightenment in Buddhist philosophy. The giant Buddha eyes, painted on 4 sides, watch over the entire valley, symbolizing the wisdom that sees all things. Inside, it is believed to hold sacred relics of ancient Buddhas such as Kassapa and Shakyamuni. whole monument is aligned perfectly with the four cardinal directions, forming a massive three-dimensional mandala that represents the Buddhist universe. Nagarkot is a small hill town on the eastern edge of Kathmandu Valley, sitting about 2,175 meters above sea level. It lies just over 30 kilometers from Nepal's capital, yet the air here is thinner and cooler, like a true mountain region. From Nagarkot in clear weather, people can see 8 ranges of the Himalayas, including Everest, stretching for hundreds of miles. Sunrise is the most famous moment when in just 15 minutes, the snow peaks shift from silver to gold and then to soft pink. The temperature changes fast, around 5 degrees Celsius in the morning and up to 25 by noon. Interestingly, many locals still preserve the tradition of sky watching, predicting the weather by observing the color of the clouds and the direction of the winds sweeping across the Himalayas. Thanks to its height, this is one of the few places on Earth where people can watch the sunrise above the clouds without climbing a mountain. Gokyo Lakes lie in the Everest region of Nepal, inside Sagarmatha National Park, at about 15,400 to 16,400 feet above sea level. They form the highest freshwater lake system on Earth, made of 6 large glacial lakes fed by the melting water of the Angozumpa Glacier, the longest glacier in the Himalayas. The water is crystal clear, glowing turquoise, and reflects the snowy peaks around it. From the top of Gokyo Ri at 17,575 feet, visitors can see 4 giant mountains above 26,000 feet: Everest, Lhotse, Cho-Oyu, and Makalu. The area is peaceful and remote, often chosen as a quieter route instead of the crowded Everest Base Camp trail. For the Sherpa people and Hindu pilgrims, the lakes are sacred, where they come during the Janai Purnima festival to bathe and pray. The light, mist, and moving clouds keep changing the look of the lakes, creating a view found nowhere else in the Himalayas. Annapurna is a massive mountain block in the Himalayas of north-central Nepal, stretching about 34 miles with one peak above 26,000 feet and more than 10 others over 23,000 feet. It is the only mountain range on Earth with a height difference of more than 19,000 feet within less than 20 miles, forming a giant wall rising from the ground. The massif keeps growing about 0.2 inch every year due to the collision between the Indian and Eurasian plates, making it a living geological structure. Above 17,000 feet, no plants or insects can survive because the air holds only around 40% of the oxygen found at sea level. Glaciers here move an average of 3 feet per day, cracking and roaring like thunder as the ice shifts down the valley. The death rate for climbers once exceeded 30%, higher than any other mountain on the planet. The name Annapurna means goddess of nourishment, and in Hindu legend, she grants food and water while dwelling in one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. Manaslu stands at 8,163 meters, the 8th highest mountain on Earth, and taller than the average cruising altitude of commercial planes. At its summit, the air holds only 40% of the oxygen found at sea level, forcing climbers to carry extra supplies to survive. Winter temperatures can drop below -30 degrees Celsius, while even in summer, thick snow still covers the slopes. Winds can reach 200 kilometers per hour, strong enough to lift rocks and tear apart the tents of experienced mountaineers. The Manaslu Range is part of the Himalaya system, specifically within the Mansiri Himal region in central western Nepal. The entire area is protected under the Manaslu Conservation Area, covering more than 1,600 square kilometers and remaining remote and untouched. In a single day, travelers can cross 6 different climate zones, from tropical forests to alpine meadows and eternal snowfields. This extreme diversity makes Manaslu one of the most mysterious and powerful mountain regions on the planet. The Himalaya stretches for more than 2,400 kilometers from northwest to southeast. It forms a massive wall dividing the Tibetan Plateau to the north and the Indo-Gangetic Plain to the south. It holds many of the world's highest peaks, including Everest, which rises nearly 8,849 meters above sea level. Amazingly, the mountains are still rising about 5 millimeters each year as the Indian tectonic plate keeps moving north. Inside the upper rocks, scientists found marine fossils proving this place was once the bottom of the ancient Tethys Sea millions of years ago. The glaciers here store the third largest amount of fresh water on Earth after the two poles, supplying life for more than 1.5 billion people. At altitudes above 7,000 meters, even a small cough can be deadly because of the lack of oxygen. At night, minerals like mica and quartz reflect the moonlight, making the slopes shine like silver. Pokhara Valley lies in western Nepal within Gandaki province, known as one of the most unique landscapes on Earth. It sits at low elevation, yet lies less than 20 miles from the massive Himalayas, allowing people in the valley to see snowy peaks rising over 26,000 feet high. The difference in altitude between the valley floor and the surrounding peaks reaches about 6,000 meters, making it one of the steepest elevation ranges on the planet. Despite its proximity to snow-covered mountains, Pokhara has a warm and mild climate all year, with green vegetation and pleasant temperatures, a rare geographical paradox. Surrounded by towering mountains, the valley acts as a natural rain trap, receiving over 150 inches of rainfall annually, the highest in Nepal. The entire area was once covered by ancient glaciers, and when the ice melted, thick layers of sediment hundreds of feet deep formed the most fertile lands in central Nepal. Strong thermal air currents also make it one of the top 3 places in the world for mountain paragliding, where warm and cold air meet to create powerful natural lift. Chitwan National Park is Nepal's first national park, established in 1973 and listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1984. It lies in the tropical Terai Plains, where the ecosystem changes dramatically with the seasons. In the dry season, the grasslands turn pale yellow. In the monsoon, the forest glows deep green. And in early winter, red sal flowers cover the land. It is one of the rare places on Earth where Bengal tigers, Asian elephants, and one-horned rhinos live together. Along its winding rivers, the gharial crocodile thrives, with a snout reaching up to 1.5 meters, almost half its body. Scientists have found ancient marine fossils here, showing this land was once a seabed millions of years ago. Though smaller than half of Tokyo, Chitwan holds over 500 bird species, an incredible level of biodiversity. Today, visitors can join jeep safaris, canoe along the rivers, or walk through dense jungle to watch wildlife in their natural world. Sagarmatha National Park lies in eastern Nepal in the Solukhumbu district of the high Himalayas. It has the greatest elevation range on Earth, from lush forests at 2,800 meters to icy peaks near 8,850 meters, all within just 30 miles. Here, people can experience every climate, from humid temperate zones to eternal snow. The temperature can shift more than 40 degrees Celsius in a single day. Midday heat can melt the ice, but at night, the air freezes your breath in seconds. The sky is so clear that climbers can see their own shadows cast onto clouds, a rare phenomenon known as the Brocken spectre. Thunderstorms are almost absent, yet sunlight is strong enough to burn skin within minutes because ultraviolet radiation is over 50% higher than in lowlands. Thin air weakens sound, so you can see someone speak without hearing them. Beneath the ancient ice lie cores older than human civilization, more than 60,000 years old, preserving the memory of the last ice age. Makalu-Barun National Park lies in the eastern Himalayas and was established in 1992 as an extension of the Everest region. It is the only place on Earth where natural elevation rises more than 8,000 meters, stretching from humid tropical forests to icy peaks that almost touch the stratosphere. Its ecosystems form a continuous chain through different climates, creating a biodiversity found nowhere else on the planet. Within just a short journey, temperatures can change by 60 degrees Celsius, from sweltering heat in the lowlands to freezing cold in the heights. The park holds over 3,000 species of flowering plants, including 25 kinds of rhododendron that bloom together, turning the slopes into waves of red, pink, and white for miles. At altitudes above 7,000 meters, oxygen levels drop to only 40% of what they are at sea level, earning the park the name Paradise of Thin Air. And right beneath the eternal snow, tropical forests still thrive, forming a natural paradox that seems almost impossible. Kaptad lies in the far western region of Nepal, spreading across 4 districts: Bajhang, Bajura, Doti, and Akham. It was established in 1984 under the guidance of Kaptad Baba, a hermit who once meditated in these forests. The park covers 225 square kilometers at an average height of about 9,800 feet, one of the few mid-mountain regions in Nepal that still keeps its pure air. No motor road cuts through the core area, so every journey must be made on foot. Because of that, the air here remains untouched, free from noise and light pollution. Kaptad is also one of the richest medicinal plant reserves in the Himalayas, with more than 220 species recorded, 3 times denser than most forests in the region. Beyond biology, it is a sacred land where Kaptad Baba once lived and meditated, surrounded by pilgrimage sites reaching over 10,000 feet, believed to connect nature and spirit. Kathmandu Valley lies at the foot of the Himalayas in Bagmati province of Nepal. This area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site because it preserves an ancient urban complex that has existed for more than 2,000 years. It was once the power center of the Malla and Shah dynasties, where royal rituals and sacred monuments were created. The entire valley was once a massive lake that drained through a natural fissure tens of thousands of years ago, leaving behind over 600 feet of lakebed mud beneath the ground. Many old wooden structures here have survived for centuries and multiple earthquakes thanks to flexible joinery that allows them to sway without collapsing. The valley is also a sacred space where Buddhism and Hinduism coexist, sharing rituals and divine symbols within the same environment. When sunlight filters through the surrounding hills, reflections and shadows create a surreal half-light that makes the entire valley look almost unreal. Kathmandu Durbar Square lies in the center of Nepal's capital and is an ancient palace complex that has stood for centuries. It was once the seat of Nepalese kings, where coronations and royal ceremonies took place. The name Durbar means palace in Nepali, showing its role as the heart of royal power. The whole square was built only from wood and bricks, without steel or cement. Yet it has survived for hundreds of years thanks to the flexible Nuar wood joining technique. The Nuar style is seen in tiered roofs and fine wooden carvings that depict hundreds of Hindu and Buddhist deities. Some wooden pillars have stood for more than 4 centuries without being replaced. The Mala kings believed that sal wood, used for the temples, was the backbone of the gods. Old records tell that the statue of Hanuman tilted slightly before the 1934 earthquake, seen as a warning sign. In 1979, the square became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and although the 2015 quake caused heavy damage, restoration continues today. Patan Durbar Square lies in Lalitpur city within the Kathmandu Valley of Nepal. It is one of the 3 ancient royal squares of the valley that once served as the political and religious center of the Mala dynasty. The city was built on stone foundations more than 1,500 years old, and the square still keeps its original red brick floor after more than 10 major earthquakes. No iron nails were used in the old wooden structures. All joints were made with traditional wooden pegs crafted by newer artisans. Many temples remain standing after the 2015 earthquake thanks to the tiered roofs and brick bases that absorbed vibrations, known as a natural dynamic balance. The roof tiers follow the 3 to 5 to 7 rule, where each upper level is exactly 2 parts smaller than the one below, creating perfect symmetry when seen from afar. The bronze statues here never oxidize because they are coated with a lost alloy of tin and gold. The entire complex was built without written plans, using only oral knowledge passed through generations of craftsmen. Bhaktapur Durbar Square lies in the center of Bhaktapur city and was once the royal palace of the Mala kingdom from the 14th century, one of the 3 great squares of the Kathmandu Valley. The complex stands as proof of a civilization that mastered Nuar architecture. It once had 99 courtyards connected in a closed royal system, but only about 15 still remain. Each brick on the ground was handmade from local clay, mixed with straw and ash, baked in traditional kilns so no two bricks are identical. The stone walls were stacked using an ancient anti-vibration method that lets them move slightly during earthquakes instead of cracking. The wooden columns and roofs are more than structure. They tell stories of rituals, battles, and religion carved into wood like a book without words. Nritya Vatsala is a sacred stone temple standing at the heart of Bhaktapur Durbar Square, the ancient center of the Malla Kingdom. Located at an altitude of about 4,600 feet, the temple was built in 1672 during the reign of King Bhupatindra Malla and dedicated to goddess Vatsala Devi, the divine protector and incarnation of Parvati. Its architecture follows the Shikara style, a towering spire rising sharply toward the sky, standing nearly 65 feet tall, rare among temples in the Kathmandu Valley. Carved entirely from grey sandstone, every detail of the structure depicts mythological scenes, sacred animals, and ancient rituals. In front of the shrine stands the Tilicho bell, its metallic resonance echoing across the square. Locals call it the barking bell. For each time it rings, the sound awakens the entire courtyard. Nyatapola Temple stands in the heart of Bhaktapur's old city, inside Talmudi Square in Nepal. It was built in 1701 and finished in only 6 months under King Bhupatindra Malla. The temple is the tallest in Bhaktapur, about 33 meters high, and also the tallest pagoda in Nepal. The name Nyatapola means 5 roofs in the Newari language, showing its 5-tier pagoda design typical of the Kathmandu Valley. Made of brick and wood, its ancient structure resists earthquakes and has survived many major ones. Along its grand staircase stand stone guardians, wrestlers, elephants, lions, mythical beasts, and goddesses, each level stronger than the one below. Inside, the temple is dedicated to the goddess Siddhi Lakshmi, a powerful tantric deity, but the inner sanctum is closed to the public. The whole structure represents the height of Nuar art and engineering, both intricate and enduring. The temple lies north of central Patan, not far from Patan Durbar Square. It is one of the oldest Buddhist monasteries still active among the Newar community of Nepal. The current structure was completed in 1409, though legends say it dates back to the 12th century. Its facade is covered with gilded copper plates that shine brightly under sunlight. The monastery keeps the ancient Pragya Paramita scripture, about 800 years old, which is restored and recited regularly. It serves both as a place of worship and a center for preserving Buddhist texts and Newar traditions. A unique tradition here is that the chief monk, called Bapacha, is always a boy under 12 who serves for a term. Intricate carvings, Buddha statues, and guardian figures surrounding the square courtyard give the temple a sacred and artistic atmosphere. Kopan Monastery is a Tibetan Buddhist monastery of the Gelug tradition, standing on a hilltop more than 4,300 feet above sea level, overlooking the Kathmandu Valley. It was founded in 1969 by Lama Thubten Yeshe and Lama Thubten Zopa Rinpoche to create a place for meditation and Buddhist study open to both locals and visitors. The site was once an abandoned mansion before being rebuilt entirely with local materials like stone, brick, and mountain wood. Every structure was crafted by hand without the use of modern machinery. Inside the main hall, the murals are hand-painted with natural mineral pigments, depicting more than 400 images of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and sacred creatures. From its elevated position, visitors can see the Himalayan range on clear days, making it one of Nepal's most scenic meditation spots. Dakshinkali Temple is one of the most famous Hindu temples in Nepal, located about 14 miles south of Kathmandu. It lies in a deep forest valley, creating a sacred and isolated atmosphere. The name Dakshin means south, referring to the southern temple of goddess Kali in the Kathmandu Valley. The goddess Kali here represents power, destruction, and rebirth, with 6 arms and a fierce face. The temple is considered one of the most powerful Shakti Peeths in Nepal, believed to hold strong divine energy. According to legend, King Malla dreamed of the goddess Kali and was guided to build the temple at this very spot. The shrine is open to the sky, allowing divine energy to spread into nature. What makes Dakshinkali unique is the animal sacrifice ritual, mainly involving uncastrated male goats and roosters, held every Tuesday and Saturday. The blood from the sacrifice is sprinkled onto the idol, which is then washed and wrapped in new cloth. Panauti is an ancient town in Kavrapalanchok district, Bagmati province, about 32 kilometers southeast of Kathmandu. It was once a key trading hub on the salt route between Tibet and India. The entire town was built on a single massive rock slab, which locals believe protects it from earthquake damage. Some old houses have wooden doors that were sealed centuries ago, and no one dares to open them, fearing they might release sleeping spirits. In the temple courtyards, each brick was handcrafted with unique handprints or marks, like the craftsman's signature. When restoring old structures, if a nail is hammered incorrectly, workers must perform a ritual to ask for forgiveness, because every corner is believed to be guarded by sacred spirits. Every 12 years, tens of thousands of people gather here to bathe at the confluence of 3 rivers to cleanse bad karma. Even without clocks or bells, the town's daily rituals always happen on time, guided by the sun and community rhythm. Tansen is a hill town in central western Nepal, built over 1,300 meters high on the steep slopes of the Mahabharat Range. The town was planned centuries ago and still keeps its original layout to this day. Its entire center is built with brick, carved wood and stone, without using modern concrete. Many old buildings survived major earthquakes in 1934 and 2015 without total collapse. Traditional rooftops all face the same direction to catch morning sun and block cold winds, using old wisdom without blueprints. Even without shopping centers, streetlights, or tall towers, Tansen still runs like a full town since the 1800s. Janakpur lies in Madhesh province in southern Nepal near the Terai Plains, serving as the cultural and religious center of the Mithila region. The city is tied to the Hindu epic Ramayana, believed to be the birthplace of the goddess Sita and the site of her sacred wedding with Rama. The ancient Maithili language is still spoken daily, preserving over 2,000 years of tradition. Its most iconic landmark is Janaki Mandir, Nepal's largest marble temple, built in 1910 by Queen Vrishabhanu. The temple rises 3 stories high, with more than 60 rooms and 200 arches, entirely made of white limestone and marble, surviving major earthquakes intact. The entire city lives in constant ritual rhythm, with bells, incense, and chants filling the air from dawn till dusk, making it a sacred world alive within the modern one. Marfa is a village in Lower Mustang, Nepal, located in the Kali Gandaki Valley along the famous Annapurna Circuit trekking route. It is well known as the apple capital of the Himalayas, thanks to its long tradition of apple farming and dry, cold climate. Besides fruits, Marfa is also famous for its traditional apple brandy, made locally and widely enjoyed in the region. Another unique feature lies in the flat rooftops, where villagers stack dry firewood, not mainly for use, but as a symbol of wealth. The more wood seen on the roof, the richer the family is considered, as it shows resources passed down from older generations. Marfa is also linked to a local legend where villagers once suffered from a strange skin disease and built a Buddhist chorten on the cliff to perform rituals, after which the illness mysteriously vanished. Around the cliffs near Marfa, there are also ancient man-made holes carved into steep rock faces, used as shelters, meditation spaces, or tombs, creating the look of hidden rooms in the sky. Ilam is a hilly district in eastern Nepal, known across the country as the tea capital because of its cool weather and fertile slopes. The Ilam tea gardens sit at elevations between 1,200 and 1,800 meters, where the air is thin and morning fog covers the hills almost every day. The tea plants here are not grown in straight rows, but curve along the natural slopes, forming spiral-like patterns that look like a living maze. Some of the tea bushes here have lived for more than 100 years and still produce high-quality leaves. Locals still use traditional hand-picking, sun-drying, and aging techniques that go back to the 19th century. What's special is that the walking paths through these tea hills are so complex, you can hike for 3 full days without ever repeating the same trail. Pokhara is the second largest city in Nepal, located in the Pokhara Valley. Lakeside is the busy tourist area located along Phewa Lake, specifically the eastern shore of the lake. Phewa Lake is a freshwater lake that spans about 2.2 square miles, with an average depth of roughly 28 feet and a maximum depth of about 79 feet. An interesting climate paradox here is that even though you can see the snow-capped mountains, you can still wear a t-shirt while walking around the lake shore. The climate difference between where you stand and the scenery you see is a fun, biological shock. Many people sitting near the lake early in the morning realize that this place is almost silent. This is explained by the phenomenon that the lake surface seems to absorb sound, reflecting light but dampening sound, creating a space of surreal silence. Some tourists even claim to have seen faint stars during the day while boating on the lake on extremely clear days when the light scatters at a special angle, something hard to believe, but that has been recorded. Thrangu Tashi Yangtze Monastery, also called Namobuddha Monastery, is a Buddhist monastery following the Karma Kagyu tradition of Tibetan Buddhism in Nepal. The monastery is located about 25 miles southeast of Kathmandu, Nepal's capital, by road. What makes Namobuddha famous is the legend of the Buddha's previous life as the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, who sacrificed his body for a starving tigress. According to the story, the Bodhisattva found a starving tigress nursing her small cubs, and out of limitless compassion, he cut off his own flesh to feed the mother, allowing her to gain strength to care for her young. The name Budhanilkantha means old blue throat. Although the word Buddha sounds like Buddha, the name is linked to the god Shiva in Sanskrit, who drank poison to save the universe, turning his throat blue. This open-air temple honors Lord Vishnu in his reclining form, specifically the image of sleeping Vishnu, Jalasyana Narayan, resting on the coils of the serpent god Shesha or Ananta Naga. The statue is carved from a single black basalt stone block, measuring about 16 feet long, and rests in a recessed tank about 42 feet long, which represents the cosmic sea in Hindu mythology. One of the mysteries is that the water around the statue never runs dry, even during the most severe droughts, without any visible inlets or pumps. Most notably, tradition claims that if any reigning king of Nepal approaches the statue, disaster will strike, so for hundreds of years, no king has dared to step inside the temple gates. Pashupatinath is one of the most important Hindu temples in Nepal, dedicated to the god Shiva in the form of Pashupati, which means Lord of the Animals. The temple is located right next to the Bagmati River, east of Kathmandu. The temple complex is very large, covering about 608 acres in total, stretching across both sides of the river, including the main temple and many smaller shrines. The main temple's architecture is in the pagoda style, with two golden-roofed copper tiers, silver-plated doorways, and fine wooden carvings, all built by hand without using any modern engineering blueprints. Only people who follow the Hindu faith are allowed inside the temple's inner courtyard. Other visitors can only view it from the opposite riverbank. It's unique that even though this is the site for daily cremation rituals, the temple is a center of belief in rebirth and reincarnation, where death is seen as the start of a new journey. Many elderly people from Nepal and India make pilgrimages here with the sole purpose of dying at Pashupatinath, because they believe this place helps the soul find liberation from the cycle of suffering. Bardia National Park is the largest national park in the Terai region of Nepal, covering an area of about 374 square miles. It was officially established in 1988 to protect the ecosystem and endangered animal species, with about 70% of its area covered by sal forest. What makes Bardia unique is that this is one of the few places where visitors can walk through the forest to truly encounter wild tigers. Bengal tigers here use the same trails that people walk on, with many visitors reporting finding fresh tiger paw prints right on top of their own boot marks, only hours apart. The rhinoceroses here are also wild and unpredictable. They can charge out of the bushes like a live tank, weighing more than 2 tons. Bardia is also a paradise for birds, with more than 400 species recorded across its wetlands and forests. During winter, migratory birds arrive from as far as Siberia and Central Asia, filling the sky with motion and sound. Every trek here feels like a survival chess game, as there are no fences or electric barriers. Your guide carries only a wooden stick, so people and animals coexist in an unrestricted space, making the Bardia experience intensely real and exciting. Shuklaphanta National Park is located in the western Terai region of Nepal, in Kanchanpur district. Initially, this area was set up as a royal hunting reserve, starting in 1969, then recognized as a wildlife reserve in 1976, and was finally upgraded to a national park around 2017. Shuklaphanta is known for having one of the largest continuous patches of flooded grassland in the entire Terai Plains, a vast, flat ocean of grass. This is the only place in Nepal where you can watch wildlife on a wide open plain, offering a spacious experience similar to a safari in Africa. Furthermore, some wild tigers have been recorded swimming across the Mahakali River, the border river, to hunt in India, a rare cross-country hunting behavior. A strange mystery is the remains of an ancient brick wall over 5,000 feet long, deep inside the park, with no official explanation, as if it were a forgotten trace of an old civilization. Lumbini is one of the most sacred and important sites in the Buddhist world. Located in the lower Terai region of southern Nepal, near the border with India, Lumbini is recognized as the place where Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, was born. Historical Buddha was born around 623 BC. It is one of the 4 most sacred sites for Buddhist followers and was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1997. This area still preserves ancient traces dating back over 2,000 years, notably the Ashoka pillar with an inscription confirming the Buddha's birthplace. Lumbini is the only place on Earth where many nations have built religious structures with their own distinct identity within a common complex, showcasing a rare unity among cultures. Finally, to ensure the site is not invaded by the modern world, the sacred core area has no strong cell phone signal or internet access. Namche Bazaar is an essential stop and the main gateway on the trekking route to Everest Base Camp. Almost everyone trekking to Everest has to stop here to acclimate to the altitude. The town is nestled in a high valley, nearly 11,500 feet high, yet it faces peaks over 19,500 feet, making it feel like a town suspended in the clouds. Uniquely, the town has relatively modern amenities, including Wi-Fi, Western-style coffee shops, and even a small cinema for trekkers. The houses are built in tiers on the steep mountainside, making walking around the town feel like a mini climb. Once a week, a lively market fair takes place where locals from remote villages come to trade everything from vegetables to mountaineering gear. What's hard to believe is that this place also hosts one of the world's highest ATMs, a real working cash machine, though it often breaks down due to snow, low power, or strong winds. Phewa Lake is the second largest lake in Nepal, covering an area of about 1.9 square miles and sitting nearly 2,600 feet above sea level. Nowhere else in Nepal can you get a double view, seeing both the real mountains and their clear reflections as you can here. At sunrise, the reflection of Makapachere Peak on the calm water is so sharp that people confuse the reflection with reality. Hundreds of traditional, brightly painted wooden boats drift on the flat surface, creating a picture-perfect scene. Phewa is one of the very few lakes in the world that has no major river flowing into it, and also no distinct outflow. Even stranger, the lake is located in a high seismic zone, but is rarely severely affected by major earthquakes, as if it is exempted by nature. Tal Barahi Temple is a small, unique Hindu temple located entirely on an island in the middle of Phewa Lake in Pokhara, Nepal. This temple is dedicated to the goddess Barahi, Varahi, an incarnation of the goddess Durga Shakti in the Hindu tradition. The temple is built in a two-tiered pagoda style using stone, wood, and traditional materials. The temple was not separated by disaster, but was purposefully built in the middle of the lake hundreds of years ago, which was considered an ultimate form of reverence. Strangely, even though it sits just a few steps from the water's surface, Tal Barahi has never been fully submerged, even when Phewa Lake's water levels rise very high, leading many to believe that the goddess Barahi protects the temple herself. Legends also suggest that the site was once a settlement submerged by water, or that the goddess Barahi chose the middle of the lake to reside and bestow blessings. Muktinath Temple is an ancient shrine situated at an elevation of about 12,500 feet in the Himalayas, located in the Mustang region of central Nepal. It is one of the 108 most sacred Vishnu temples, Divya Desam, in the Hindu faith. Tibetan Buddhists revere the site as Chumig Gyatso, meaning 100 sacred waters, the embodiment of the Dakini's goddess and the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. The route to Muktinath often passes through rocky canyons and the Kali Gandaki Gorge, which is considered the deepest gorge in the world. Within the temple grounds is the Muktidhara area, with 108 water spouts flowing from stone cow heads, with each spout representing a form of the god Vishnu. To cleanse their karma, pilgrims will bathe under all 108 of these ice-cold spouts, even when the temperature is below 41 degrees Fahrenheit, an act requiring deep devotion and courage. Gosaikunda Lake is located within Langtang National Park in central Nepal, serving as the central lake in a system of about 108 sacred lakes in this area. For about 6 months a year, the lake is usually completely frozen with a thick layer of ice. On the festival of Janai Purnima, thousands of devotees pilgrimage here to bathe in the sacred water, asking for the cleansing of their karma. A natural marvel is that Gosaikunda is not just blue water. It continuously changes color throughout the day, from emerald green in the early morning to metallic silver at noon, and then blue-purple at sunset, shifting with the angle of the sun. Finally, although it has no clear surface outflow, water from Gosaikunda soaks underground through rocks and forms the Trishuli River, one of Nepal's major rivers, as if an underground life source begins right here. Rani Pokhari means Queen's Pond in the Nepali language. The pond was built around 1670 under the reign of King Pratap Malla, with the noble purpose of consoling the queen after the death of their son. For that reason, the pond is seen as a symbol of love, loyalty, and grief. A sacred temple sits at the center of the pond, but for hundreds of years, ordinary citizens have not been free to enter, only being allowed access on a single day each year, Bhai Tika. This makes it a sacred but almost hidden structure in the middle of the capital. After the 2015 earthquake, despite major damage, the pond was restored using ancient techniques, relying only on hand-fired brick and traditional mortar, with no modern concrete or steel. It's unusual that even though it's in a wide-open square, you cannot photograph the entire pond from any single viewpoint without getting higher up, which gives the place a constant air of mystery. Furthermore, legend says the pond is sealed by a curse, stating it must not be changed in shape, making the government hesitant to enlarge or modify it, even though it's badly needed for urban traffic. Rara Lake, also known as Mahendra Lake, is the largest freshwater lake in the Himalaya region of Nepal. What's surprising is that at an elevation of nearly 10,000 feet, the lake water remains strangely clear blue all year, like a giant mirror, clean enough to see right to the bottom. The air here is so clean and cold that you can almost smell the cold and clearly see your small breaths rising like tiny plumes of smoke. Another unique feature is that despite its high mountain location, the lake harbors endemic cold water fish swimming freely that researchers rarely see anywhere else. This is also the only place in Nepal where many visitors report a sound absorption phenomenon, where their voices seem to get quieter and then vanish on the lake shore due to the near absolute silence and unique mountain terrain. Dharahara Tower is located in the Santara area, central Kathmandu, Nepal. The tower was first built in 1832 under the direction of Prime Minister Bhimsen Thapa. Initially, the tower had 9 stories and stood about 203 feet tall, but it has been destroyed and rebuilt many times after major earthquakes, most recently in 2015. The newest reconstructed version is about 236 feet tall and contains 22 stories. Inside the tower is a spiral staircase with 213 steps leading up to the observation deck. Uniquely in its older versions, the tower was built using a special traditional mixture of brick dust, lime, crushed black lentils, and caramel, a blend believed to be more durable than modern cement in Nepal's climate. Historically, the tower also served as the city's old communication system, where people would blow a bugle from the high levels to signal and call the public to gather during important national events. Patan, also known as Lalitpur, is one of the important ancient cities in the Kathmandu Valley. What's unique is that this city still lives in the Middle Ages. Unlike tourist-only old towns, this is where locals still live and perform daily rituals inside the ancient structures. The entire city is like an open-air museum because on every square foot you can find statues, temples, carvings, or reliefs not hidden in museums but placed right in the streets, courtyards, and pathways. Patan is known as a real-life metal casting city, home to hundreds of generational artisans who can hand-carve, cast, and bend metal to create delicate pieces using techniques dating back over 1,000 years. Even the doors of the old houses are works of art, with most hand-carved in wood with high detail. Some doors are carved for months from a single piece of wood. Many buildings here survived the 2015 earthquake without using modern steel or concrete, relying only on wood, fired bricks, stone, and ancient techniques, proving a deeply intelligent folk architecture. What's amazing is that many structures are restored or newly built without any blueprints on paper, based only on the collective memory and craft skills of the artisan community. Janaki Mandir Temple was built to honor the goddess Sita, also known as Janaki. It is considered one of the largest Hindu temples in Nepal in terms of size and pilgrimage significance. According to Hindu legend and the Ramayana epic, this site is believed to be the birthplace of the goddess Sita or the location of a key event related to her. The entire structure was built using pure white stone and marble without modern concrete, creating an ethereal, illusionary appearance, despite being constructed in 1910. Inside the temple, there are up to 60 small rooms, corridors, and lattice windows, forming a space like a sacred maze. Furthermore, after more than 100 years, the white stone walls have almost no moss or black patches, which is very hard to believe for an open-air structure in Asia. The mystery is that when pilgrims chant or sing mantras in the main hall, the sound seems to echo back from the dome, as if amplified without any speakers or sound equipment. an unexplained acoustic phenomenon. We've witnessed the impossible here. Next, we journey beyond to discover impossible wonders that don't seem real in the world. Because the more we see, the clearer it becomes. This planet is not just alive, it's beyond imagination. Bryce Canyon National Park is one of the most bizarre and unusual natural wonders in the United States. What's special is that it's not truly a canyon, but is famous for its bizarre, natural rock formations called hoodoos. These are tall, slender rock columns standing close together like a fossilized army on the plateau. Bryce Canyon has the highest density of hoodoos in the world, formed over millions of years of frost weathering, creating colorful columns over 150 feet high. Although it is a high-altitude desert region, in winter snow can fall to more than 3 feet deep, covering the red rock forest and creating a strange landscape, a snow desert. On the same day, temperatures can swing wildly from 86 degrees Fahrenheit at midday to below freezing at night, and this extreme difference is what cracks and fractures the rock, creating the strange shapes. Furthermore, due to the uneven and sound-absorbing terrain, if you speak loudly at certain spots, you hear no echo, giving the feeling that the space is swallowing the sound. Meteora is located in the Thessaly region of northern Greece. The name Meteora means suspended in the air or hanging, implying the towering rocks seem to float in the sky. This place is most famous for the impressive combination of nature and the religious monasteries built atop the precarious, high rock pillars. Some of the rock columns at Meteora are up to 1,300 feet high, which is like an 80 to 90-story skyscraper, but they were formed entirely naturally over millions of years. Unlike volcanic mountains, these rock pillars were formed from sandstone and ancient river sediments, gradually eroded by wind and water over 60 million years. Meteora has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 1988. What's astonishing is that in the past, the only dangerous way to reach the monasteries was to sit in a net and be hoisted up by a pulley and rope. For many centuries, sometimes only a few monks or local residents knew how to access this area, creating near absolute isolation from the outside world. The Austrian Alps are not just a mountain range, but a sacred region that covers over 60% of Austria's total territory. This range is globally known for its long-standing skiing tradition and world-class ski resorts. Interestingly, most of the mountains here are formed from Jurassic limestone, dating back nearly 200 million years and originating from the ancient ocean floor. Furthermore, due to the movement of the European and African tectonic plates, some parts of this range are still growing taller by a few millimeters each year. However, the Alps are also where glaciers are retreating, losing an average of several feet of ice every year, a clear sign of climate change in Europe. Because of complex wind conditions and extreme altitude changes, certain airspace areas within the Alps are permanently closed to all flight. Sadly, the avalanche fatality rate here is among the highest in Europe, with dozens of people dying each winter in the dangerous high mountain zones. Lucerne is an ancient city located in central Switzerland, nestled by Lake Lucerne and surrounded by majestic Alps mountains like Pilatus and Rigi. This is one of the very few cities in the world that has both a large freshwater lake and high mountains right in the urban area. You can enjoy boating in the morning and take a cable car up a snowy peak on the same afternoon. Lucerne is a unique time intersection where structures from the 14th century are still preserved, while the city remains modern with five-star hotels and state-of-the-art transportation systems. From Lucerne, visitors can reach the Alps using Europe's oldest cogwheel railway system, which helps you climb high peaks without having to go trekking. Another wonderful feature is that the water system here comes from natural snowmelt in the mountains, filtered through many layers of rock, allowing residents and tourists to drink this pure water directly from the tap. Tianzi Mountain was previously called Qingyan Mountain because its rocks were blue, but the current name comes from the story of Xiang Dakun, a local Tujia leader in history. This man led a rebellion and proclaimed himself Tianzi, the son of heaven, in defiance of the central government, and the mountain was renamed to honor him. Tianzi Mountain is famous for its unique rock structures, tall, narrow, bizarrely shaped pillars that rise straight up from the valley, making people think of columns, calligraphy brushes, or heaven-ascending pillars. The rock pillars are made of sandstone and quartzite. The softer rock layers beneath were eroded over time, leaving the hard parts towering like stone swords. This place is nicknamed the King of the Stone Forest due to having the most beautiful, tallest, and most magical density of rock pillars in southern China. The sight of the Sea of Clouds when fog covers the peaks, making the stone tops seem to float in the mist, is one of the four prominent wonders here. Miraculously, trees, especially pines and ferns, still live and take root right in the cracks along the rock columns, showing persistent vitality despite the harsh conditions. Because the rock pillars are too steep and too numerous, most of the area is inaccessible by foot and can only be viewed from above or from observation deck. Tumpak Sewu waterfall is located on the boundary between Lumajang and Malang districts in East Java, Indonesia. The name Tumpak Sewu roughly translates from Javanese to mean 1,000 waterfalls, because when viewed from a distance, it looks as if countless streams are pouring down simultaneously. The waterfall is about 390 feet high, which is comparable to a 40-story skyscraper, making anyone standing at its base feel tiny amidst the grand nature. Instead of just one main flow, this cascade is a convergence of over 100 tiny streams pouring down from the cliffs all around, creating that stunning 1,000 waterfalls effect. The waterfall's primary water source comes from an active volcano, giving the flow a stable characteristic all year long, which is rare for seasonal waterfalls. However, the water volume can change dramatically within just a few hours because it depends on mountain fog, forest rain, and snowmelt, keeping the waterfall scenery constantly dynamic. Getting to the base of the waterfall is not for the faint of heart, requiring visitors to navigate slippery cliffs, small bamboo bridges, and wade through wet, muddy streams. Zermatt is one of the very few places in the world that completely bans gasoline and diesel vehicles. All vehicles in the town are electric or horse-drawn carriages, resulting in some of the purest air in Europe, with no smog and no engine noise, only the sound of bells and falling snow. This town sits at an elevation of over 5,200 feet and is uniquely nestled among 38 mountain peaks towering over 13,000 feet. Nowhere else in Europe has such a dense concentration of sky-touching peaks within a radius of just a few tens of miles. Zermatt is one of the rare locations where you can ski even in August, as the snow never melts due to the presence of permanent glaciers in the area. The town maintains its classic look because the entire system of electrical wires, fiber optic cables, and plumbing runs underground, so there are no messy wires or glaring billboards. Finally, because of the long winters and heavy snowfall, many households in Zermatt even own personal hot steam guns to clear the snow from their roofs and front doors every morning. The Bernina Express is a world-famous scenic railway line connecting Chur, Switzerland's oldest city, with Tirano in Italy. The line is recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site and is nicknamed the world's most beautiful railway line for its perfect blend of human engineering and majestic nature. It is the highest railway in Europe to cross the Alps without using a cogwheel system, reaching a maximum altitude of 7,392 feet at the Bernina Pass. Technically, the route crosses a total of 196 bridges and passes through 55 tunnels, all designed to blend seamlessly with the mountain landscape. Uniquely, the train has sections where the track spirals 360 degrees to gain altitude gradually without needing switchbacks or cogwheels. There are parts where the train curves right along the edge of cliffs that are hundreds of feet deep, yet it remains completely safe, playfully challenging visitors' fear of heights. Finally, there is no Wi-Fi on the train, and nobody complains, because the space is designed for people to digitally disconnect and fully immerse themselves in the now of the natural experience. Tianmen Mountain stands about 4,982 feet above sea level, located within the Tianmen National Forest Park. Thanks to its high elevation, steep terrain, and frequent fog cover, the mountain is nicknamed the closest place to heaven in China, often feeling like you are lost in a sea of clouds. The forest park covers an area of about 37 square miles and is a key tourist area, ranked as 5A, the highest level in China's tourism rating system. The mountain was famously chosen as the stage for an aerobatic pilot to fly a plane straight through the gigantic Heaven's Gate Arch in 1999, an event that shocked the globe and went down in the history of adventure aviation. Tianmen is famous for its cliffside walk along the vertical limestone wall, which is less than 3 feet wide and features only a low, knee-high chain as a guardrail, giving visitors a chilling view straight down into the abyss. Miraculously, some large, tall trees still grow precariously out of the near-vertical cliff face, their roots clinging to rock crevices with no soil or flat ground. There are times when the fog is so dense that walkers cannot see 10 feet ahead, which can easily cause a sense of disorientation and panic. Wadi Rum, also known as the Valley of the Moon, is a spectacular rocky desert region located in southern Jordan. This area is recognized by UNESCO as a dual World Heritage Site for both nature and culture. Wadi Rum is globally famous for its surreal landscape, featuring a fiery red desert terrain and rock mountains that look like they belong on another planet. The terrain here resembles Mars so closely that NASA once used it to simulate the surface of the red planet, and numerous rovers were tested here before heading to space. Because of this unique setting, Wadi Rum has been the main backdrop for many famous Hollywood films, including The Martian and Dune. The environment here is incredibly harsh. The temperature can swing by as much as 72 degrees Fahrenheit in just one day, dropping from 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 38 degrees Fahrenheit, 113 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, to below 41 degrees Fahrenheit at night. To survive, the desert plants here must have roots as deep as 66 feet to access underground water, while some creatures even have the ability to desert hibernate, suspending activity for months to conserve energy. British Columbia, often abbreviated as BC, is a large province on the western coast of Canada, famous for its wild nature. Over 75% of the province's area is mountains, glaciers, lakes, and forests, making it one of the last places to preserve ancient temperate rainforests. BC contains over 20,000 rivers and streams. The water in many of these rivers is clean enough to drink directly, but heavy rain can also turn them into torrents capable of sweeping away cars. This is also the only place in the world where the white Kermode bear still exists, a rare genetic mutation, not a polar bear. Historically, in the late 19th century, British Columbia was the true Wild West of Canada, where wagon trains, miners, and indigenous people fought for gold, water, and survival. Uniquely, BC is the only place in Canada that has officially threatened to separate and form its own nation during some nationalist movements in the late 20th century, due to its distinct local identity and economy. Lavaux is a wine region located in the Vaud canton of Switzerland, situated along the northern shore of Lake Geneva. With an area of about 2,000 to 2,200 acres, this is Switzerland's largest continuous area of terraced vineyards and is recognized as a World Cultural Heritage Site. The terraces here are built using traditional dry stone construction without cement, which helps retain soil and prevent erosion. The unique wine quality here is created by the three suns effect. The grapes are warmed simultaneously by direct sunlight, light reflected from the lake's surface, and heat absorbed and radiated by the stone walls. These stone walls absorb heat during the day and release it at night, helping to stabilize the temperature and prevent thermal shock to the vines. Lavaux is famous for its white wine made from the Chasselas grape, a light and fresh variety that clearly reflects the mineral taste of the local soil and rock. Visitors can enjoy the unique experience of walking through the vineyards, with a route extending up to 20 miles and offering beautiful views of the lake and the Alps range. Hokkaido is the largest island in northern Japan, famous for its volcanic terrain, snowy forests, and almost pristine ecosystem. It is the coldest place in Japan, regularly recording the nation's lowest temperatures, which can drop to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit in winter. The snowfall here is among the highest in the world, with many areas accumulating up to 40 feet of snow each season. Despite the severe weather, this creates ideal conditions for winter sports like skiing and snowboarding, attracting millions of international tourists annually. The entire island of Hokkaido is a young volcanic region, with many areas still having sulfur gas and hot springs erupting regularly. However, because it lies near the junction of several tectonic plates, this region also experiences many major earthquakes, some exceeding 7 on the Richter scale. Although it accounts for about 22% of the mainland area, Hokkaido only holds about 5% of Japan's population, creating a unique feeling of a vast and sparsely populated land. Berchtesgaden National Park is located in southern Germany, in Bavaria, right on the border with Austria. It is the only national park in the German Alps region, established in 1978 to protect a purely natural mountain and rock ecosystem. Because it is entirely within the limestone region of the Alps, the terrain here is extremely sharp, with vertical cliffs hundreds of feet high and no natural guardrails. Due to the "let nature be nature" policy, fallen trees and dead animals are left untouched, creating a wild environment that carries inherent risks. The environment here is extremely harsh. Snow persists for 7 to 8 months each year at elevations above 6,500 feet, and nighttime temperatures can drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit even during summer. Moreover, due to the deep and steep terrain, light can transition from bright to dark in just minutes, which can easily cause disorientation if visitors do not carry proper lighting. The Tara River flows through the mountains of Montenegro and continues into Bosnia and Herzegovina. A highlight is the Tara Canyon, a deep river gorge carved through the rock by the Tara current itself. This canyon reaches a maximum depth of about 4,373 feet from the river level, making it the deepest river gorge in Europe. The water of the Tara River is incredibly clear, with a distinct emerald blue color, earning it the nickname the Tear of Europe. The Tara River water is among the cleanest in Europe, thanks to the natural filtration system through the limestone rock. You can drink the water directly in many sections. The cliffs along the river are mainly composed of ancient limestone that formed over 100 million years ago, giving rise to the unique deep gorges and underground caves. The Tara Canyon was once proposed by a Balkan Ecological Association as one of the 8 unrecognized natural wonders of Europe. Pamukkale is one of the most unique geological wonders in Turkey and the entire world. The name Pamukkale in Turkish means cotton castle, referring to the pristine white limestone terraces that sparkle like snow under the sun. The entire structure consists of calcium carbonate limestone terraces formed completely naturally by mineral-rich hot springs flowing for thousands of years. These hot springs have an average temperature ranging from about 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Every day, the springs continue to deposit new calcium, meaning this landscape is constantly self-renewing, acting like a living natural structure. Ancient Greeks and Romans believed the water here possessed healing powers for various ailments, especially skin diseases and rheumatism. They built numerous public bathing areas here, starting 2,000 years ago. The Pamukkale landscape was even described in Roman records as the gates of heaven, where the gods descended to bestow blessings with the hot waters. Henningsvær is a small fishing village located in the Lofoten archipelago of Norway, covering an area of only about 0.11 square miles and having a population of around 507 people as of 2023. The village is hundreds of years old, settled since the 18th century, and was once the largest dried cod processing center in Europe during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Geologically, the bedrock of Henningsvær dates back more than 2.9 billion years, making it some of the oldest rock in Europe. The most unique feature here is the world-famous soccer field, located on a small isolated island, completely surrounded by the ocean and cliffs, with no stands or cover. The environment here is extremely harsh. The weather can change extremely quickly, cycling through rain, sun, strong winds, and snow, all within just 1 hour. Furthermore, for most of the year, the sea around the village experiences strong winds of force 6 to 8, with only about 20 to 30 days annually where the sea is completely calm, providing rare conditions for kayaking. Phoksundo Lake is a beautiful body of water located in the Bernese Oberland region of Switzerland, situated above the village of Kandersteg. Uniquely, the lake was not formed by glaciers, but by an unusual geological event, a series of massive rock avalanches from the Doldenhorn and Fissistock Mountains about 3,200 years ago. These fractured rock masses filled the valley, creating a gigantic natural dam that held the water back entirely without the need for an artificial structure. Despite its peaceful appearance, the rock in the surrounding area is weak, composed of thin layers of rock that are easily eroded and prone to new slides during temperature shifts or wet conditions. The water in the lake has a long residence time, remaining for an average of about 588 days before circulating or draining. In winter, when the ice is thick enough, the lake allows visitors to go on an ice walk and skate, which many other mountain lakes are not safe enough for. To reach the lake, visitors typically take a cable car from Kandersteg up to a high point, then walk down to the lake, a unique combination that lessens fatigue and creates a magnificent wow moment as the lake gradually comes into view. Lake Como is a large, inverted, Y-shaped lake located in the Lombardy region of northern Italy. The lake originated in the Pleistocene glacial period, formed by the retreat of glaciers from the Alps, which carved out its unique Y-shaped basin. With a maximum depth of about 1,394 feet, Lake Como is the third deepest lake on the European continent. Following a long tradition, it was once a retreat for ancient Roman nobility, notably the writer Pliny the Younger, who owned 2 villas on its shores. Today, Lake Como remains a resort for the elite, with property prices around the shore being among the highest in Italy, reaching up to $17,000 per square meter in some areas, exceeding many central parts of Milan or Rome. It also has the highest density of private yachts in northern Italy. The water clarity changes seasonally, potentially reaching 49 to 66 feet in spring, but sharply dropping to under 26 feet in summer. Due to its ability to create a unique visual effect between water, rock, and sky, the lake's landscape has been chosen as the setting for many international action films, such as James Bond, Casino Royale.